This video contains content number 15, told through a series of again on the horror forums of Icor Falls on March 15th, 2009. A person under the name asks if anyone remembers a children's show called. Several other members soon respond, stating they remember the show and begin to discuss. The premise was a young girl befriending a group of pirates, and the characters included Pirate Percy, a reg, the terrifying skin taker, a skeleton to grind your skin, and horrible. Horus discussion continues with the writers reminiscing on the more odd and scary moments of the show. Even an infamous posts end with a user by the name remembering how he asked his mother about the show, and she said a fan video of the screaming episode has appeared online. Fans of the story wishing to keep the idea alive jokingly commented how the video was just static, hopeful to freak out unsuspecting viewers to no end. Number 14. While sounding like a Child's Play inspired story, the true horror in this creepypasta is Robert the doll actually exists and is on display at Florida. The story of Robert's devilish activities are also, and it has been reported that Robert hates and will blur himself out of pictures with a blinding light even though a person's flash is off. Staff have also said they have found Robert in a different position in the morning than he was in the past evening. Readers of Robert's story are left to decide whether the stories are true or if they are only an early example of creepypasta. A fair warning, Robert the doll hates. Number 13. A pure example of the length. Portraits is a short story staring down at him. He tosses and turns but can't seem to rid himself of the sight. Number 12. Will no longer the most popular creepypasta on the web. In the genre of the story is told through the eyes of an intern in 2005, and he and his co-workers receive a Squidward suicide. They all decide to watch the film and find a disturbing twist on the beloved SpongeBob SquarePants program. Sitting on a bed while settling sounds play in the background. Quick flashes appear on screen and the sounds increase in volume. Squidward now appears to be the end of the video. Squidward himself as a strange demonic, and the tape ends. The employees dismiss the tape as a prank, but they check the timestamp and are alarmed to discover it was edited only a minute before they received the tape. They hand the tape over to authorities. Number 11. Ted and his friends Brad and Joe enjoy exploring caves in their area. They drill the hole large enough for them to fit, but soon things take a bad turn. The group starts hearing hieroglyphs. After exiting the cave, their ordeal only gets worse, and the blog has not been updated since. Number 10. A woman becomes tired of her self-perceived mediocrity and decides to end her life. After purchasing a handgun, she writes, however, the gun fire. She tries again and again, but each time results in a fire, causing her to grow. The narrator then details how she died. Number 9. A subgenre of creepypasta. Horror stories are exactly as their title sounds. Horror stories told in lines or less. While some might find this silly, some examples.
I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. There was a picture on my phone of me sleeping. I live alone.
Number 8. Similar to Candle Cove, a Canadian man from Calden begins posting blog entries talking about in Local 21 and details his experiences watching the show. Bobby was a man's hand, and the writer talks about playing with scissors. A hand is seen trapped on the table, jerking violently around. Mr. Bear's cellar appeared to have a dangled dress as a bear who would interact with children on the show. However, his sinister motives were soon made clear as the episodes progressed, and eventually the broadcasts were shut down by police, though Mr. Bear fled arrest. The man begins to search for the identity of Mr. Bear in hopes of finding justice to the children he probably murdered, and he updates his blog posts every so often. While posts are far and few in between. Lore. Number 7. The enjoyability in the story is its obvious inspiration from Number 6. Reddit. A rather bizarre entry to this list where Redditors can post. Number 5. Taking creepypasta to the next level, Bong Dong Ghost is a young girl walking home in the mid-evening when she encounters a woman walking ahead of her. As the girl gets closer, she notices the woman is amiss, suddenly hears the woman scream behind her, and when she turns, the reader is once again startled by another motion frame of the woman rapidly spider walking towards the girl, and the readers get a full view of the woman's disfigured face. The story ends with the girl explaining how she was found unconscious by a passerby a few hours later. Number 4. Like others on this list, it would not be complete without Jeff, an early example of creepypasta, but Jeff gets the upper hand and leaves the boys bloodied. Jeff finds an overwhelming satisfaction in hurting them. Later at the party, the bullies return and light Jeff on fire. The bullies confess to the attack and are sent to, but that's not where the story ends. You lied to me, mommy. Number 3. Undoubtedly the most famous icon of creepypasta. Number 2. An intense story. Many explore the website and find it is not at all what they expected it to be. The site is full of videos, including a half-hour video of a woman making a peanut butter sandwich, a 5-minute video of an obese man, and a 5-minute video of a legless man attempting to break. The final video discussed in the story is called and runs for 18 minutes. Number 1. Inspired by the Soviet American technological race, a group of scientists and military personnel are conducting experiments to create a gas which forces people to stay awake for long periods of time. The rest covered the portholes with their own feces, and the screaming abruptly stopped. We no longer want to be free, having brutally mutilated themselves and each other. Several of the subjects die soon after being released after they unwillingly fall asleep. The higher command decides to continue the experiment with the 2 surviving subjects, along with several scientists and military personnel. Before the doors are to be closed, one of the scientists produces a handgun and kills the military commander. As the others flee, he points the gun at the surviving subject and demands to know what he is. The subject declares he is what people hide from when they go to sleep. Distraught, the scientist shoots the subject in the head, and his last words are, "So nearly free." Got an idea for a top 15 video? Be sure to submit it at top15s.net/submit. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching.